All right. First and foremost, got to move some stuff around. I didn't think about the camera cord. All right. If the audio goes away, it's because I was dumb and didn't move the laptop into the proper position before hitting play. So that's all on me. There's a lot of things I gotta get out of my way. Majority of it I don't need for this because I don't think we're going to be working on painting anything today. Also, just as a formal warning for anybody watching in the future or anybody that's hopping to live stream now, hey, how's it going? The Son of Rangers, welcome to Geek Chest. My name's Steve. Still feeling utter dookie. I actually feel worse than I did yesterday. But like I said, I've been trying to work on stuff at least a little bit every day, and I also got to make sure. I might have to take a break from part of the stream to go find where the hell I put that Legion at. Because we'll double check them real quick before I box them up. Just make sure there's nothing I gotta adjust. So if I cough, sneeze, suck in my nose or whatever, you guys know why. Alright, so we're gonna keep trying to move the laptop over because I don't want it on screen as much as possible. So far, everything looks hunky dory. I'm still talking. I'm mainly just trying to keep talking just so I know that the chat's popping up. Oh, yeah, the chat actually isn't popping up in the corner. What the heck's up with that? You guys are talking. I see it over there. Did I mess up something? Box. High delay. Okay, it's working now. It might just be the laptop. I've been working on scanning stuff today, so it might be using up too much storage space. It's a good possibility. It's, yeah, Britain. All right. Actually, you know what? That's not that bad of a placement. Oh yeah. Actually, real quick, we gotta go back. Free comment because I gotta make sure that there's no important information on this box when I go to open these things up. No any random addresses getting leaked. It is violently pink. I like it though. It's definitely like in the realm of a neon pink. I don't know how durable it's gonna be. I did accidentally drop a piece on the floor, on the cement floor, and nothing happened. So durability wise, I'm pretty happy with it. But I don't know how well it's gonna be like with the stuff scuffing up on each other. You know. Okay, now we can go back over. I ripped everything off. All right. So first package is from Crazy Red Emu, who's currently in the chat. You know, I was like, I just had an actual knife. We're gonna bust this open. I guess let's do the bottom. Because this should be... Actually, both of these things I got to open up are actually custom figures somebody else has done that I'm going to be working on too. So for this one in particular, should be... Yep. So we got a little... Got a little skeleton dude. Which a lot of this guy is going to get butchered for the fleshy pink Zilla that we accidentally jacked up. Actually, I don't think she really is. She never really played the other two, to be fair. She doesn't play too much of the video games. Like, if anything, I think she's more excited for that. Was it Survival? Is that what's the one that's called coming out? I try to adjust this a little better so you guys can see a little bit better what's actually coming out. But this guy, like I said, we're going to be using ribcage and other parts for the zombie Zilla that we'll be working randomly on and off. Set these. I'm assuming these are for the guts. That's what I'm most excited about because I love me a first-person shooter. Because there's also the Alien game coming out. I'm pretty stoked for it too. Random Angerus parts. Some more skeleton things. Actually, quite a bit of skeleton things. And then we got a body. So what this is, or what we're attempting to do, is make a Treadmaster style Angerus. Yeah, there's an alien game. It's coming out for Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. I think it was originally. I thought it was a VR game, but it seems like most everybody's getting Teeth of Fraying. Okay, so I'm assuming everything in this bag's for Angerus, then, right? Also, where did these gnats come from? Open this box. There's nothing. Why? There's flies. Okay. I'm honestly confused what the tail's for. So we got a neck joint, got extra hands. Oh yeah, no, for sure. The head's okay. Huh. Yeah, we can make that work. Yeah. I'm just looking at it because I'm like, this seems kind of excessive, but you can shape them down for sure. Okay. And then we have part of a gargoyle head. Yeah, there were a lot of points. You're right. You're right. It's been a hot minute since I've seen that thing. Yeah, honestly, kind of. This head's actually doesn't seem too bad, to be fair. Because his head was kind of big on that original figure. God, he's so jacked. Like, look at him. He is the rippedest of Angerus. Almost be kind of nice if you could get him on all fours. He did a really good job on the back spikes, though. I think one thing I might want. The only problem is it increased the weight a bit. So I almost want to like wet down some epoxy and just kind of get it in between the crevices. Then again, I could just use some UV resin and just kind of pour it into the spots and then just let it sit under it for a bit. Fits into the anchor set. Oh, okay, I got you. So yeah, all right, that makes sense. Yeah, it's for the joints. Okay. A crap ton of teeth. All right. So you're suggesting that this goes in here so that gets epoxied and ends up right on top. Cut out the jaw so you can make that posable. Good times. Just kind of wondering. I'm actually going to pop that on real quick if I can. Just kind of want to see where it's. Extra head. Kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I think the back piece was from. Was it from Slash? I don't see any nippers around here. I used some earlier today because I had to cut a thing, then I didn't bring it back down like a dum dum. When in doubt, try it out. There we go. Just kind of want to see where that sits. Where it kind of like Angerus's head to sit. It's right around there. Actually, looks pretty good. The only thing I would like to do is wish the shells was a little bit more flush to the back. I do love actually how stumpy his legs are for the bottom. It's so trip mastery. I think the only problem is because we put all the spikes on, I'd be afraid to try to heat it up enough to see if I can make this pliable enough to kind of get it to bend. Okay, you like the shell sticking out? All right, that works for me. It's very 55. Almost need like the split in between. No, I'm really digging it. Like the setup's really good. Pretty much just gonna be. Actually, I gotta look up a True Master Ingress to really see what's all gonna be getting added because it's actually one of the ones I still don't actively own. Never able to get one when I was younger. Yeah, I'll probably want to like add a little bit of epoxy in there just to give it some support. Nothing too crazy. Oh, yeah, definitely elongated for sure. Honestly, the tail's almost kind of right because the tail wasn't super spiky on the Trademaster. Then again, neither was his back. I was trying to see. I was gonna say I don't think I remember him really having anything on the limbs. No, nothing too much on the limbs. Definitely got to make the horns bigger though. I think it was just the way the suit was constructed. It wasn't really attached to the original the costume very well because that's kind of how the suit actor came in. So in certain scenes, you could kind of see it getting like hunched up a bit. All right, real quick, I actually have to take this phone call, so we're gonna go over to here. I'm actually gonna mute it real quick, so I will be right back. You're gonna kind of see. You'll probably see this movement, but you're not gonna hear anything. Okay, sorry about that. It was my mother. She has some random health issues, so I gotta answer those calls when she is. She just wanted to chit chat. But no, I'm probably help if I swap this over. No, really digging it so far. So it looks like we'll have to remove the little nubs from the limbs. Now, I should apologize. But yeah, we'll be removing the nubs from the limbs, cleaning that up. Probably epoxy, like I said, putting a little bit of epoxy here just to give this a little bit more support for the back piece. Honestly, it's either pretty damn good. All with just the glue, all things considered. Probably the majority of the work is going to primarily be getting the head to be articulated, and then honestly, I might just try to bulk the neck up more with some epoxy instead of trying to. Because it's not the next piece, but I'm still probably going to have to clean up stuff anyways. If I could maybe cut it out to kind of fit in that area, possibly, but I think just like epoxying it up a little bit more, I think is probably more the way to go. But not really sweet so far. Casey is upset about something upstairs, and I don't understand. Hey, Vibes, how's it going? All right, so we're going to stick Angerus. Honestly, we'll probably put him back in the box with the other parts so I don't lose them. Outside of the skeleton gets the hangout. We might work on the skeleton a little bit. Yeah, well, she's going to be getting a bath. She likes baths, but I don't know why. Like with my wife lately, she throws a fit. She's also super tired because I've also been trying not to get like if she doesn't get us early nap, I've just been trying not to give her a nap. So she's at the point of she's a bit ornery. For sure. Okay, this is the one I'm a little bit more scared about. I got pictures sent. There's a hole in the bag with the guts. Oh, yeah. Right now. All right, so what this one is I got a message about possibly repairing some custom figures or attempting to make them better. Because I don't know if it's the guy, the dude commissioning it did the work or had somebody else do it. I'm not 100%. What we have? Holy cow! This thing weighs a ton. But it's a fully posable Orga. 8-pound Bandai panel. I will say, not packaged the best. Package wise, it was just kind of in here with a little bit of a wrap, so it's kind of in parts. A little bit of clay here and there, nothing too crazy. But you can kind of see here. So I got a limb here. That's super glued in. Okay, that's for the finger. Ooh, which none of these have the little protected support things. So they will want to pop. Honestly, all things considered, not really that bad. Like, it's kind of rough, but the setup's there. If anything, like the joints maybe could be a little bit more inserted. I assume that's for that arm. That's for you. Looks like a lot of super glue is used for to put the joints in. A few different clays. I'm missing a piece. That's a leg. There's a head, which appears to have some kind of purple stuff on it. I'm not sure what. Tail, that's the leg. Yeah, again, that's like I said, like setup wise, it's actually not that bad. Super glue definitely works. The only thing is, I think there's supposed to be a ball here for the tail that's currently not there. There's the head. He's got a couple of issues. So when he messaged me about it, he's definitely said the weight was definitely an issue, and I'm afraid. I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, cuts wise, not that bad. Oh, actually, I'm just gonna kind of disassemble it a little bit. For the most part, the joints I should be able to reuse a lot of them. The only thing that's kind of sucks is with these, because they don't have the little plastic adapter over top of them, they're gonna want to pop out. So that's a little rough. And then because there's a lot of super glue or glue in here, that's gonna be a little pain in the butt too. Because it looks like they at least followed some of the videos where they stuffed it with aluminum foil and then did the super glue around it, which works. Like I said, I'm usually more of a fan of using the epoxy for this part. And honestly, my new thing is I really like using the 3D print pen to do a lot of my filling, which is probably what I would mainly do with this. He did mention he would like to get an the app crunch into it, which definitely could do. I just got a bunch of action figures down here. We'll swap something up. Problem is, this thing is like a brick. My concern is how much of this inside is stuffed with epoxy putty. Yeah, like I said, execution-wise, there's cuts are good, and where the joints are set up, I actually don't hate a lot of it. It'd be nice if this is opened up a little bit more so you get more of a down. But he's definitely got it up. To be honest, I don't even think the down is probably going to be that big of a deal. So this is breaking. Or just loose, one or the other. Looks like you tried to get it in with some super glue. So I'm probably going to try to save as many of these joints as I humanly can so I don't have to reuse my stuff. And then if I was going to do this, I'd probably clean the seam line up here for the back piece here. Ooh, actually, can I lift that up? I haven't boxed them up yet. I haven't gotten to filming the Angerus video yet because I've been sick. So. But I do have to toss this back. I actually have a couple of those the flame effect pieces too. I gotta toss in that box. So I got a bunch of those hanging around too. I should have some joints. Like I got worst case scenario, we got tubs of action figures. We'll make it work. So what I'm probably gonna have to do is, since we want to add an ab crunch, I'll probably try to cut it out anyways. and then go from there. And I can clean it out. Honestly, the hard part's probably going to be all this super glue mix, or hot glue mixed with everything. There's just quite a bit of cleanup. Around. So it looks like, wise, pretty well set up, but I'm pretty much doing. So I told the guy, because initially I thought I was just doing a couple of things and start from the beginning. Yeah, well, like I said, when I first started talking to the guy, it sounded like it was just going to be doing a couple of touch ups and a couple of touch ups paint job, tightening some joints, simple enough. And then after it got shipped out, then it was mentioned adding stuff, repairing things, yada yada yada. I'm like, sounds like I'm going to be doing pretty much a full custom. Sure enough, that's pretty much what this is going to be. Like I said, I'm probably going to try to salvage as much of this as I can. Like I said, a lot of the joint placement isn't really that bad. And for a lot of this, like I could probably sand this down, like just do a bunch of sanding and try to, like I said, save as many of these as I can. Because some of these, even like they look kind of ugly right now, but after I sand them and possibly pop them out, I'm going to be probably inserting them a little bit more. Yeah, it was just the. I'm not 100%, but I think this was the box set one. I don't know. This is like the OG. It's also got a little bit of paint on it here and there, but he's pretty much going to need a full paint job. Now, whatever clay's in here is super brittle. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking it might have been air clay, which I really don't recommend because it's not very durable. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna have to cut that out, cut this out, and then I can hopefully gut this from there. And then it's gonna be trying to get the hot glue out of the joints, go back over it with epoxy. Because the nice thing about epoxy over the hot glue too is if you mess up somewhere, you can sand it. Hot glue, it just kind of melts as you're doing it, so it's not the best. Okay, well, at least I kind of got an idea what I'm doing now. Oh, that vinyl's ripping up. That's not good. Also, that joint's kind of going through that. Okay. Well, I mean, that easy. So I think for the fingers, you kind of have to commit to gluing these in. So they'll be pulsable, but not like though your rotation is going to be at the base of the hand, not the fingers. Yeah, that's what I was. I was thinking the One Piece is milliput, but like here, but it's coming off. So like I almost think it's maybe sticky tack, or it wasn't mixed right, one or the other. But like it scrapes out. Pretty easy. Oh. So this will be fun. Yeah, I guess to say more likely probably just a little mixed. Well, like so the thing that's got me the most concerned about right now is the glue and getting all the stuff out from there. A lot of this it could be just pretty easily cleaned up. Because I don't know what this purple stuff is though. Have to clean all that off too. But like I said, I'm gonna try to reuse the joints as much as possible. And hopefully with a lot of this, I can get away with sanding this down and then going over it with epoxy, actual epoxy. Because that stuffing, whether it's air clear or not, it still works. And I'm going to have to sand down some of these cuts because the cuts are kind of rough too. So all in all, it's pretty much going to be a full figure redone. So when I told the guy, I was like, yeah, usually a full figure usually runs around 200. This is probably going to be in that same vein. So we'll get him back in the box for now so I don't lose any of the parts. The only thing that's nice is because he's already done all the like engineering work. I don't really have to think too hard about it. It's just going to be cleaning it up. So I'm going to spend more time epoxying the thing more than a lot of setup. I don't know, to be fair, in terms of like how much time I probably spend on the thing, I should charge more. But like I said, it's an action figure. I kind of have to be a little bit realistic in my prices. It's also why I tend to, one, I don't give people time frames. It's like stuff gets done when it gets done. Like this guy's been here for a couple months, like a few months now. I've been working on him on and off. And I'm probably already past the budget on this guy in terms of the time frame. But he's mostly painted now. Oh, I never turned on the light. There we go. You guys can see it a little better. He's working really good. Like I said, he's pretty much got like neck composability. So you got quite a bit of play to him. But I still got to work on getting the rest of them painted up. Oh, jeez. At least I randomly work on them periodically. Thanks. Oh, now my Pokemon stuff's going off. My bad. My apologies. Let's mute that. Okay. So, shifting stuff down a little bit. Move that out of the way. Oh, this will probably stream for about another hour or so. I don't know what I'm doing. That works good. So you can see we got some weeb. I've been playing a lot of the Pokemon Pocket, anyways, so it kind of got me in the mood. I need to change it though. But here's our violently pink Zilla. I had to so when I printed it, something with my printer cut off like a little bit of the skin on this piece here on the one, so I reprinted this. The forearms didn't come out good, which I actually have to go through this because I got to figure out which ones are new. But you can see here, like this forearm's a little sliced, so I just reprinted them. That's the same side, right? Yeah. Ooh, this one actually looks nicer too. All right. It's also nice when you print a bunch of things because you get options. Certain things sometimes, like the way the resin laid down or cleaning up, sometimes the details pop a little bit more. So those forearms look really good. I had one of the toes didn't print right. On a fun note though, with this resin, it actually cleaned up pretty nice. So there's actually a gap between the nails. Yeah, in person, it's like neon salmon pink, which is good for what we're going for. Like I said, my only concern was like how it's going to be rubbing together. And it looks like it'll be fine. So that's cool. Where's my butt? Is that my butt? Oh, that's my butt. Okay. Because I don't want to like be posing it. It scuffs a little bit. But for the most part, you're not going to see that anyways. So that, like I said, that works really good. Favorite Godzilla monster, Biolante. Oh, man, my throat's drying out so bad. Okay, so I want to get this together tonight. Tree hugger. I am the hippest of hippies. I was thinking, where did I hide more elastic band? That's the thin stuff. Which honestly probably wouldn't really work that bad. So I typically have these ones, which is I think what you're supposed to use for the feet to get that piece in there. Problem is this one's a little too thick for that. Hold up, we gotta stand up a little bit. Stuff there. Okay, I know I got more elastic. Where'd it go? There we go. It's like I know I have quite a bit of chopped up bits hanging around. Just to be extra. We're never gonna see it, but damn, does it need to be pink. Sort of green floral wire. Okay, hopefully I don't break the tail because oh yeah, I forgot. I wonder if I can do this. Sometimes you can get away without having to actually use the Dremel. But a little bit of resin cure inside the hole here. Let's probably get too far. There's some gold on there. Because my dumbass decided to was using the gold rub and buff. And I haven't used it in a minute, so the top kind of dried. I was like, yeah, I'll just use my drill bit. And I'm trying to do it by hand just so I can. There's one thing I gotta worry about the electric tool is once I turn it on is it does apply a little bit more pressure to the joint. And it's not hard to break these. It's one of the reasons I almost want to get like a little hand drill. But I think I'm gonna need to bust it out. It's a little deeper than I thought it was. So, little Dremel. We're gonna use the weak Dremel just in case. So to my battery one. I need that little dude there. Although after saying that, the battery dies on that thing pretty quick now. So I got a new battery. All right, got the drum. I'm just gonna adjust the camera. There we go. Just did it on a really low setting so it'd go through there, but now a nice little hole. All cleaned up. Oh, really regret not bringing down the nippers while I was upstairs. Not seeing my extra ones hanging out here. So I might have to go grab those real quick. Then what I like to do, take the fluoro wire through the hole. Take a little knot. Pull that through just a little bit. And then just keep tightening it. That gives you some nice friction there. The loop. So I do got my big pair. Real quick. Oh, the bubble wrap from the other box. All right. Gotta grab some nippers real quick. Because the cruddy pair that I had hanging out down here, use those ones today. I'm gonna go get them. It's fine. That's not just like a structure line. It's like not like essentially. Good times. Okay. One off per set from whichever. Yeah, there's a few people do 3D print stuff. Big ball joints. Heck yeah. Right, so you clip, snip that. Attempt to make a knot here. Made it a little short. That's fine. I think. There we go. Kind of use this. These are kind of my rough old nippers that I use for wires. Make that as tight as I can get it. And then I'm going to apply a little bit of super glue, use some accelerant, and then snip away the excess. But the super glue pretty much holds it in place. Keeps everything together. Then some accelerant. Stretch it so it's going in the right direction. And the fun thing with the accelerant is you can watch it setting. So I'm going to just snip off the excess here. Gotta be careful not to take out too much extra of the wire, but I can afford to get rid of a little bit there. So there's that. It'll stick out a little bit from the end of the tail, but this has been so far the safest way I could secure these things. Because I used to make the hole bigger and just set it farther down, but I tend to break a lot more tails that way. So, and you still have to do the knot. So this way it just makes my life a little easier. So now, take the parts. Let me just start lining them up. That's big tail, into littler tail, into littler tail. That looks like that goes into you. Too small. I get all the tail pieces closer. I'm not missing anything. So we got forearms, hands. Let's see, I don't see an elbow, so that's not good. So there's the hands, feet, knees, rest of the legs, neck piece, head, jaw, body. Okay, so that's all the tail pieces. This one's got a little piece missing on that tail there, but that's fine. It's like within the realm of acceptable. And then with these pieces, it's not super hard to figure out like which order you need the tail pieces to be going into. Because it'll either be a little too loose or it won't fit at all. And just make sure everything lines up into there accordingly. Having done quite a few of these, it's not the hardest to eyeball. What pink goes into where. And I mention every time, if you guys would like to get this file for yourself, this is an Arctic Figures file. I do believe he still sells them on his called 3D page. So if you do a quick Google search, you'll be able to find it. And then you just need somebody that has a 3D printer. Or if you have one yourself. Yeah, it is very glow in the dark slimy, isn't it? That's the tail tip, that piece. It's definitely that one. Like some friction, we're losing pieces. Got a little piece there. Use my nail. It's definitely that way. There we go. And I know this one's the final piece, which I actually have to. Oh, wrong one. Snip this end here just to make it cleaner. Good to have you back. Yeah, it's one of those like I wouldn't mind making one myself. I just haven't really had time, and I haven't had anybody commission one for me to do. Because that'd be a fun one to do for like a Halloween one year. Like some creepy pasta ones. Because Randy could almost use. There was like a. Oh, there's like one of those like McFarlane scorpion looking dudes. Holy cow, that's a tight fit there. Giggity. Yeah, for some reason, that hole is much tinier than. Okay, we're gonna have to fix that real quick. That one should work. Gotta find the appropriate adapter for the job. Honestly, that one in there might actually just work. Like I said, I got this on pretty low power, so I don't really damage something. I think the only problem is I'd have to make like a custom, like a full-on head sculpt. It's one of those ones we've been talking about doing, possibly just making like a sofubi for the channel or on the channel. If I eventually get like the stuff to be able to make one, and Red's definitely been one that I would contemplate trying to do for that, like making like a marmot style. I think would be really cool. Hey, and done. Glad you can make it. I think it'd be cool doing like a Nintendo style marmot with like red and there was the winged guy too. I used to be a third shifter, so I understand. Honestly, I like third shift though. Third shift was sweet. Oh yeah, sucked about third shift was trying to get food. Where's it stuck? There we go. So at a certain point, because I'm using a chop piece, I am going to have to start stretching this as I'm doing this. It's definitely long enough for what I need. But I'm going to have to kind of hold it in place while working it through these holes. Ugh. They're pretty sweet. It's not my cup of tea, but I can see the appeal to them. My wife's the one that really likes the marmot style, where it's like the default, like the metallics and everything. I kind of like those a little bit more, to be honest. Okay, so that's on. Next is lower section, upper body, big neck. Little neck. Well, bigger neck. Oh, did that backwards. That goes in, then the other one. So worse is if you were randomly. Yeah, it's kind of like if I'm getting something like that, I definitely want it to be like I want it to be like full blown like retro style where it's just like super colorful, not even like remotely accurate to the kaiju, but it gives you like that same feel. This might be a hard part. Come on, get in there. Whoosh, whoosh. There we go. Okay, that's through. Now, this is always the fun part, especially when I'm using a short. I don't have as much control over the length, but I want to try to get the tail as straight as possible. It doesn't need to be the correct like position for the tail, but just as long as it's straight. I want to apply as much tension as I can get without feeling like I'm going to break it. And ideally, the tension should keep the tail from shifting up and down with some movement, which seems like it's doing the trick there. But if you guys didn't know, what this is going to end up being is in the Godzabon, it's the puppet show thing on YouTube. There is a pink Zilla, so this is going to be like a representation of that, which is why we were going with the hot pink. We're going to be adding some eyeballs to it. Okay, I got my preliminary twist. I need to try to get helps using some needle nose. Honestly, instead of like red, I can understand why nobody's asked for a red. I am still kind of shocked that nobody has commissioned me to do Mommy Gigan. Okay, I think that's glued in enough. Groovy. It's weird for me to say casual fans, but I think casual fans would definitely be more of a like red would be something I would see more. I would think I would see more commissions of people wanting to do that just from people like into the YouTube stuff. Mommy Gigan is more for a certain breed. Yeah, but like I said, if I want to do one, I would probably, because then if I did like a marmot style, I could just sculpt the whole thing and just make vinyl pieces. Then make like just make each of the pieces in vinyl, put it together, and I could sell them in like fun colors and whatnot. And then I could maybe do like NES Godzilla and so on and so forth. Wouldn't be called Godzilla, but you know. A red action figure, I don't think would be super hard though, because you can even use the one Titanic Creations figure. Because they did like a scorpion looking figure, just use that like as a base body and do all the other stuff on top of it. What time is it? We're at 8 o'clock. All right, we got a little bit of time still. So use these for the legs. Which I think probably doing the same. Yeah, that dude. Pretty much just chopping the head off that thing, making a new top for it. Because what I would probably do with that is use that as like a base body, and then just probably 3D print a head for it. Find some arms, maybe like some alien arms. Would probably work pretty good. Yeah, honestly, I didn't think they were too bad. Having had a couple of them, I think for a small company, like they're definitely worth the price. I like the sculpt on them. They're almost just like a more sturdy Bandai vinyl. It's kind of how they felt, how I always treated it. Yeah, now they're actually trying to do like the fully posable ones, which I think is cool. I mean, $60 isn't real. Well, like if I don't know how much Titanicus is. I have to actually look at them. I have to see that one. Like the Gorgo they made, I thought was like definitely worth the price of admission. What size is this leg? We are 2 claw on the outside, so that would be for you. And my only qualm with doing it this way is I do not have enough room in that leg. So what I think we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna sand that out a little bit. Just to make a little more room down here. Did you share pictures of it on the Discord? Ah, there we go. That's better. Now it's got a little bit more room to breathe in there. So I think I'm going to preemptively do that to the other side here too. Well, you should. Uh-oh. There goes the thigh. Where's that other? I got to clean that little piece up a little bit. I don't know why, but I've remade these files and it always makes like a little support peg on the inside of here. I don't know why. But only on the one. Like this one doesn't have that. Now, what I do need though is I need the heat gun here. So we're gonna swap things out a little bit as I move and adjust accordingly. So now we go you into it. So put the right leg in there. Knee piece, I am always a little confused on which one I'm supposed to be using with which. That looks like this one, so let's go in here. It's always super fun trying to get that through that little tiny hole. The hole. And we're going to heat that up real quick. I'm going to get that those two pieces to connect. Ooh, nice. Actually heated up really well. I'm pleasantly surprised with this epoxy, this resin. I haven't used this resin before. It's made by the same people that have my printers for. It's Elgu resin. It's an Elgu ABS like resin. So there's that. I go through there. And reverse it up for the other side. Usually a little easier to get this through the bottom piece. Same thing, heat this up. Oh, what's kind of cool, I just noticed that, is when I'm heating it up, it changes the pink. I don't know if it's going to come across, but you'll see like around the knees, it's a brighter pink now. This one's cooled down, so it's back to being where it was, but it's like darkening the pink. That's interesting. Okay, now the fun part. My least favorite thing of this whole entire build is trying to get this foot on. And to be on tight and good. So I can't make it super tight because I still have to actually actively tighten this leg. So I still need to be able to move this along. Yeah, I guess like looking at it through my screen, it does look a little bit in that shade of red. Oh, I should take off a little bit more of this because once I get this thing tight, I'm not going to be able to really snip this anymore. So what I'm going to do is try to get this leg about as tight as I can get it, and then just shift everything accordingly with that. So that feels pretty tight there. Slide you down. And then pop that piece into the joint. And they're about as good as I can get it. Try to get that wire as vertical as I can. Then I'm just going to apply some super glue. It's going to come into contact with a few things, but that's fine. And then while it's vertical, I'm going to try to wrap this a couple times. Or I can fully undo the wire. Good times. Put the excess off my finger. Failed guy? Yeah. This guy was supposed to be pink too. He is the fleshiest of reds. Also, that freaking epoxy kind of loosened him up a bit. Ugh. Alright. So. Oh, wrap this bitch again. Put that on there pretty good. Guess not. Maybe I should preemptively glue the metal piece. I think we're going to try that. A little bit of glue at the top here. Then that'll harden. Then I can tighten it up from there. back to where it was. And just get glue all over everything in my hand. Couple of twists. One more dab of glue. Can't use enough on these pieces. Some accelerant. I yell ow, it's because my finger's probably burning from having accelerant on it. Or you get that. Oh, didn't realize the camera smacked. Oh, that burned. Ow. Oh, that's still hooked up. All right. So it's just the camera. Do, 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 do. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. As long as you guys can hear me. All right. You got a little bit of my DNA on it currently, but the foot is attached. And my finger got a little bit glued to it. Ugh. It's all good. We'll get it sanded. Why is that twisting? Weird direction. Weird. I'm so confused. I think I might know what the problem is. See if I can get a wire in there. I think what might have happened is there might be some glue that got up into the leg. Feel it. It's like right there. Like I said, this part's got like a little bit too much give. I'm pretty sure it's just something inside the knee. Yep, I see it right there. And it's like I need something like a little bit sharp, a little bit pointier. I got a piece upstairs that'll be really good. Almost like a nail, the way the tip is. Would work really good for this. Kind of look around my random tools I got hanging out down here, see if I got anything else that'd be kind of viable. It's like, got an Exacto blade. Oh, this toothpick actually do it. It's at least loosening it. Oh, we good? There we go. We got some tension there. That's better. Okay. Actually, I don't know if you got any of my skin, to be fair. It kind of felt like there was, but I still see some skin attached, so I think we're fine. It's just some excess glue right there is going to have to get sanded off. Oh, which I was going to say I could probably do now, but I probably should do that at a later time. I got to try to wrap this guy up in the next, 10 minutes or so. And then for the arms, I just do some floral wiring. I tried elastic bands, but they seem to, it's the one that if anything's going to give, it's usually the arms. So I just stopped using them and just use some wire. Just wrap some wire around, like so. And then you just start constructing it. So for this side, when you're constructing a Zilla, you always want it's going to be hard to see on the camera, especially since it wants to focus on my chest. But you'll see there's a little bit of armor plating here. You want that on the outside of the arm. And it'll be the same with the forearm too, whichever way the plating is for the bicep and that top of the bicep and on the side gives you that. Oh yeah, we gotta put the elbow in. And then because of the way my supports are, my support that gets stuck to the thing is always on the inside. So makes that easier. Okay, so there's that arm. And then with the wires, I thread one under the elastic band that I have going through the figure, and then one over top. This helps to tighten it up later if I need to. And then that arm's on. Go in reverse for the other side. Oh no! This hand's got a cap in it. Oh, good times. Thankfully, I left the drill bit we need in the little nub, so we're good. Put it on low just in case. I'm going to try to do it by hand first to make a little guide hole at least. And then if it's not too deep, it'll just pop through. Do we really want multiples of me, though, in this world? Is that a good idea? I'm sure my actual job wouldn't complain, to be fair. Hey, my little dinosaur guy ain't talking. Nobody told me this. Just makes permanent customs. There we go. Steve Park. We spared no expense. We spent a whole $20 to make this park. You guys better enjoy this shit. There we go. Like I said, I prefer when I'm working on the Zillas, especially for these things, to not use an actual power tool. So I don't apply too much stress on that. Because it's definitely the fastest way. Sir Jurassic Park theme. Yeah, but it's gotta be like that meme Jurassic Park theme where it's just like yeah, 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 yeah. Try to tighten that as good as I can. Ugh. Elbows backwards. There we go. Then what I do is I take a little bit of super glue and just insert it into the hole that we just cleared. That'll glue the wire into the hole and then keep it from popping out. See, doesn't want to open doors, right? Yeah, it's fine. I wouldn't be able to hop the fence anyways. My fat ass ain't getting over anything. And I just rotate it a little bit just to make sure that I didn't get any excess glue into said hole. There. So we just kind of work it. Do I, though? Do I? Yeah, you have a kid, right? I don't know if that's saying anything for my wife. Like, who let him put his pee pee inside? It's kind of like Jurassic Park, where it's just like, oh my god, they're breeding. People are just thinking Jessica just became a frog. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a little bit of rotating up here, just try to tighten this up a little bit more. I'd imagine she'd probably start crying. Just feel like, what have I done to deserve such a hell? Nice. Remember, I gotta go in the opposite direction for this side. Otherwise, I'm just gonna loosen up what I just did. Yeah. Arms are staying on. Got some visibility that the wires will provide. Yeah, I'll admit, I can be a bit blunt. if there's one negative thing about me, for sure, is especially depending on how annoyed I am, the less filter I have. I have that issue at work sometimes, especially with new people, where it's like I'm not mad at you or I'm angry. I'm just very to the point. So, like I said, I can sometimes be coming off as being like bossy or harsh a little bit, especially when I'm like training people. Especially if the trainee isn't listening, I could definitely be on people. It's all those things. Like I would say in general, I'm probably more antisocial. But then again, if I like you, I will definitely talk to you. And I probably don't shut up nearly enough. Takes a bit to get me to that point, though. Like especially at work, for the most part, I just kind of just keep myself, get my job done, which is why I think they like me quite a bit there. It's so cool, kind of seeing the pink change colors as I'm heating it. Ah, so close. It's not quite hot enough yet. Yeah, I try not to be negative about it, like telling people they suck. But I will be like, you're doing it wrong. You need to do it like this. And then if they keep not doing it, I'll be like, no, stop what you're doing. Do it like this. And I will hammer that point home. Which again, my bosses appreciate because a lot of my bosses tend to be a little bit more on the I don't want to say they're soft, but they're soft for the most part. So like I said, I'm not trying to be mean about it, but I will definitely if you're doing not doing something you're not supposed to, I will be more than happy to let you know. Or if you're doing it in a way that is making life harder for everyone else, I will let you know. And that's also honestly more for me too, because I don't want my job to be any harder because of somebody else. So I like to train people to be able to do the job efficiently because it just makes my life easier. Now let's figure out where the lineup is for this jaw. Also, I'm now slightly concerned that I don't have a good hole in this jaw, which looks like that is the case. Yeah, it's a little plugged. That looks better. And now that we've stretched the hell out of this jaw, it should pop in easier. And again, now it's just finding where the hole is. That went through. Hopefully it should pop out on the other side. Looking like a no. Well, we got that piece in. It's always so frustrating because I'll be like, I'll flip it to the other side. The other side, like, it goes right in. I'm like, then why didn't you pop out the other side like you're supposed to? I have to apply some pressure because I don't want this thing going into my finger or break the jaw up. Yeah, like that one right in. So why isn't that popping up? I'll just give up and just put 2 small pieces in and call it a day. It'll work the same. Oh, there we go. I think I got it now. Hey, there we go. All right. Snip. That one's actually in there pretty good. So just keeps move a little bit more on this side. Then replace the piece on here. Use a, I think it's like a jewelry grinder. Using this earlier because I unplugged the heat gun. Right. I was using it earlier because I got some parts I was scanning, and we're doing some like Gigan hooks for Jet Jaguar, and I was trying to clean it up a little bit. I was using this sand down some pieces. There you go. Now it feels pretty flush. Not worried about the metal piece poking me. Now the jaw should open and close. Rawr. Good to go. And you could add some glue there if you want to, but it stays in place pretty well without it. So, because the ones that I like using have a little bit of like a rubber filament over top of it, so it works really well. Yeah, it definitely fits the like breast cancer awareness Zilla. Do I got some filament hanging around? I do. Get over here. Ugh. Here's the part I kind of wish I had some pink filament for the knees. Let's make sure. Oop. Yeah, I thought I had it good, and then I was like, nah, we're gonna pop back out. The another annoying part is trying to line up this knee so that this joint can go into it. Because the other thing with the elastic band in there takes up a bit of space. So trying to work it through. Snip that and just try to use this as a bit of leverage to. Oh, that didn't work the way I wanted. Oops. Let's try that again. Man, I don't think I've ever had so much problem with one of these knees. There we go. Jeez, oh criminy. One in. I think it's just. I mean, it's. I probably. You know, I don't feel like looking for it. I could probably heat it up a little bit more, just make my life a little easier. But then I gotta plug in the heat gun again, and I'm just trying to be lazy about it. I will say, it seems like the hole is a little bit of a tighter fit, though. But I don't know if that's just me. Oh, come on. I see it going through the hole. Like it's right there. I just need you to peek in a little bit more. Ugh. That should be good. It's mainly as long as it's through the one side super well, it's all it really needs. There we go. Honestly, all I'm probably going to do on that other side is just take a little piece here and just make a cap. Yep. Hey, that piece is actually in there pretty good. So, like I said, I'm not too worried about it. This joint doesn't really move that well anyways. It's more just when I go to dry brush, you're not going to have like a giant gap over top of it. Really all I'm trying to take care of. That's what she said. Oh! I'm going to need you to break off. Pretty please. Thank you. All right. Zilla is at least assembled. So next we'll be doing the Doing the doll eyes, the eyelashes. Oh yeah, I remember you sending me eyelashes. I gotta figure out where I actually put them. So I moved the table, everything got adjusted. Because I know for a fact a little baggie was handing out up here of all the little sockets. I think the lashes were a part of that. So I gotta dig them out of the rest of the set. But at least it's assembled. I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow. Possibly. So I would like to work on the zombie Zilla a bit, because I'm kind of excited for that one. That'll be a lot of sanding. Lots and lots of sanding. So the thing I gotta do tomorrow is I gotta film these guys so I can get them shipped out. Oh, maybe you didn't. But I do, yeah, I remember the eyes. I remember you talking about the lashes. Adding the lashes. And for some reason I thought I remembered seeing them, but maybe I didn't. Oh, which isn't a big deal if you didn't, because honestly, I could probably just use these. Snip some of these and glue them on. Maybe not this one in particular, because I've used this one for other project things. But maybe adding like a little bit of glue there, snipping that, and then just kind of lining it up. Kind of thought I gotta go back and watch how long they're supposed to be and where they're supposed to be, but I think that could work. I think the hardest part is going to be cutting them and then kind of lining it up to sit them on without losing all of them in the process. Definitely going to be a little tweezer job. But anyways, you can help us to beat those guys by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook. Guys, like keep up the day with channel, donate. Greatly would appreciate it. If you guys like to pick up some custom stuff for yourself, there's a link in the description for the Etsy shop where you get custom beams. Good way to get a hold of me for commissions. We also got links in the description for Entertainment Earth and Calcus. If you guys are looking to pick up some stateside toys or your highest, both are really great options. We also got Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, Facebook. As I keep up the day with channel, donate. Greatly would appreciate. We also have a Discord attached to our Patreon. $3 to get access to that. Another really great. That's honestly, it's the best way to get hold of me for commissions. So I too. Yeah, I'll have to look up. I'll have to look it up. It's been a minute since I've seen her. And I gotta find those eyes. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.